On August 28, 2009, the Los Angeles County coroner released Michael Jackson's autopsy report. 67 pages. Every detail documented, every medical condition confirmed, every tabloid lie exposed. For 30 years, the media called Michael Jackson Wacko Jacko. They said he bleached his skin to be white. They said his nose fell off on stage. They said he was a drug addict who got high for pleasure. They said he slept in an oxygen chamber to live to 150 years old. The autopsy proved every single one of those stories was a lie. This is what doctors actually found, and why the world owes Michael Jackson an apology. The biggest lie, the one that hurt Michael the most, that he hated being black, that he wanted to be white, that he deliberately bleached his skin. In his 1993 interview with Oprah Winfrey, watched by 90 million people, Michael said it directly. "I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something I cannot help." Nobody believed him. The tabloids mocked him. Critics accused him of lying. For 16 years, from 1993 until his death in 2009, people said Michael Jackson was ashamed of being black. Then the autopsy came out. Page 8 of the Los Angeles County Coroner's report states, the decedent's overall skin has patches of light and dark pigmented areas. It also notes focal depigmentation of the skin, particularly over the anterior chest and abdomen, face and arms. Microscopic examination revealed no melanocytic pigment. Melanocytes, although present, are reduced in number. The official diagnosis, vitiligo, an autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks pigment-producing cells. Michael Jackson had vitiligo, just like he said, just like his dermatologist Dr. Arnold Klein confirmed, just like everyone could have seen if they believed him in 1993. The autopsy also listed medications found in his home, Benokin cream, an FDA-approved treatment for vitiligo. When vitiligo affects more than 50% of your body, doctors prescribe depigmentation cream to even out the remaining pigment. That's what Michael used, not to be white, to stop looking spotted. His mother, Katherine Jackson, said in an interview he didn't want to be spotted like a cow. Michael Jackson told the truth for 16 years. The world called him a liar, and then the autopsy proved he was right all along. The second biggest lie, that Michael Jackson's nose fell off during a performance, or collapsed, or had to be held on with tape. The rumor started in the early 2000s. Tabloids claimed he'd had so much plastic surgery that his nose was literally falling apart. Some said he wore a prosthetic nose. Others said his real nose had disintegrated and he used makeup to cover the hole. Parts of this are true. Parts are complete fiction. The autopsy confirmed Michael had extensive nasal surgery, multiple rhinoplasties over decades. His longtime dermatologist, Dr. Arnold Klein, stated that Michael's nasal cartilage had totally collapsed and Klein had to rebuild it. But did his nose fall off on stage? No, never. Not once. What actually happened was this. By the 2000s, Michael's nose had been damaged by over 10 surgeries. The Pepsi fire in 1984 required reconstructive surgery. Then Michael became obsessed with perfecting his appearance. More surgeries, more damage. Eventually, he did wear a prosthetic nose piece, not because his nose fell off, but because makeup alone couldn't cover the surgical damage. Karen Fay, his makeup artist for 27 years, applied the prosthetic daily. The autopsy found no evidence of any incident where his nose fell off. What it did find was severe structural damage from repeated surgeries. Damage that was painful, permanent, and completely misrepresented by tabloids who wanted a sensational story instead of the truth. The third lie, that Michael Jackson was a junkie, a drug addict who used narcotics to get high, to feel good, to escape reality for pleasure. After Michael died on June 25, 2009, the media ran with this narrative. Drug addict, couldn't control himself, threw his life away chasing a high. The autopsy told a different story. Toxicology results showed 14 different drugs in Michael's system when he died. Propofol, lorazepam, midazolam, lidocaine, diazepam, and others. But here's what the autopsy didn't find. Cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, ecstasy, marijuana. No illegal drugs, no street drugs, no recreational drugs. Everything in Michael's system was prescription medication given to him by Dr. Conrad Murray for pain, for sleep, for anxiety. During the AEG wrongful death trial, addiction expert Dr. Petros Lavanas testified that Michael suffered from dependency on prescription medications. But there was no evidence he used drugs for euphoria or to get high. No evidence he sought illegal substances. No evidence of the behavior patterns typical of recreational drug use. Michael had chronic pain from the Pepsi fire, from lupus, from osteoarthritis documented in his autopsy. He had severe insomnia. He couldn't sleep without medication. Was he dependent on prescription drugs? Yes. Was he a drug addict in the way tabloids portrayed him? No. He was a man in chronic pain being overprescribed by doctors who should have known better. Dr. Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. He served 2 years. And Michael Jackson's reputation as a junkie persists, even though the autopsy shows he was a patient failed by his physicians. Fourth lie, and the most absurd. In 1986, the National Enquirer published a photo of Michael Jackson lying in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. The headline claimed he was trying to live to 150 years old. The story went viral. It became the defining Wacko Jacko moment. For 7 years, people believed it. Late-night comedians made jokes. The media used it as proof Michael was insane. Then in 1993, during the Oprah interview, Michael told the truth. That's one of the silliest stories I've ever heard. I have an oxygen chamber. I'm not sleeping in it. It's just one of those things that I like to do. He explained further. The photo was taken at a burn center he was visiting. He tried the chamber out of curiosity. And then his manager, Frank DeLeo, leaked the photo to see if the tabloids would run it. They did, without fact-checking. Without questioning, Michael later admitted, I masterminded the whole thing. I wanted to see if the press would print anything. They did. It was a publicity stunt, a test, and the media failed. They proved they'd print any story about Michael Jackson, no matter how ridiculous, without verification. But the damage was done. For decades, people thought Michael Jackson slept in an oxygen chamber. And even after he explained it was fake, the lie persisted. There is no mention of an oxygen chamber anywhere in Michael's autopsy. No evidence he ever used one for sleep. Because he didn't. It was a hoax. And the tabloids never apologized. Fifth lie, that Michael Jackson had an eating disorder, that he was starving himself, that he was anorexic. The autopsy confirmed Michael weighed 136 pounds at the time of his death. He was 5 feet 9 inches tall. That's underweight, dangerously so. But the autopsy found no evidence of anorexia nervosa, no indication he was deliberately restricting food to control his weight, no signs of the medical complications typical of long-term eating disorders. What the autopsy did find was chronic stress, chronic pain, chronic interstitial pneumonitis, osteoarthritis, degenerative joint disease, lupus complications. According to people close to Michael during his final months, he wasn't eating properly because he was under extreme pressure. AEG was pushing him to rehearse for 50 shows. He was anxious, paranoid, struggling with insomnia. Bill Whitfield and Javon Beard, his bodyguards, said Michael's weight loss was tied to stress, not an eating disorder. Karen Faye testified he was emaciated in his final weeks, but it wasn't intentional. He was falling apart. Michael Jackson didn't have anorexia. He had a collapsing body under the weight of a lifetime of pain, stress, and pressure. And calling it an eating disorder was another way the media simplified a complex tragedy into a tabloid headline. 5 lies, 30 years of mockery, and one autopsy report that proved Michael Jackson had been telling the truth the entire time. He had vitiligo. The autopsy confirmed it. He had lupus. Doctors testified to it. He had chronic pain from burns, surgeries, and autoimmune disease. Medical records documented it. He used prescription medications, not street drugs. Toxicology proved it. He never slept in an oxygen chamber. He admitted it was a publicity stunt, and he wasn't anorexic. He was under extreme stress and his body was failing, but nobody apologized. The tabloids never retracted their stories. The comedians never stopped making jokes. And to this day, people still repeat these lies as if they're facts. June 25th is now World Vitiligo Day, established in Michael's honor in 2011. Because even in death, Michael Jackson is teaching the world about a disease most people didn't understand. The Los Angeles County Coroner's autopsy is public record, 67 pages. Anyone can read it. And when you do, you see the truth. Michael Jackson wasn't Wacko Jacko. He was a man with documented medical conditions, chronic pain, and a media that turned his suffering into profit. 5 lies, 1 autopsy, and the truth that came too late. If you want to hear more untold stories about the legends who changed music history, like and subscribe to King of Pop. Stay tuned for more content.